Yeah, I think, I've said this to the group, the Jamaica that we played, I think it was 2020, is definitely not the Jamaica that we see now. I think everyone can see that from the tournament. They've recruited a lot of WSL players who play with top players week in, week out. And so we very much in this game will go in and respect that as we do every opponent. But I think, listen, they've got attacking quick threats that we've got to take care of, that, our backline, you could argue, is world class, can hopefully cope with that. But I do expect them to, make it difficult, be compact. We have seen that from them across all the games. I think as long as we can take care of their threat up top, Bunny Shaw scores week in, week out for Manchester City, big threat. But I think if we can bring what we brought the other night against Costa Rica after watching it back, I think that level of, intensity in terms of winning the ball back, pressing, our style in that sense, and then it allows us to have more of the ball. I think if we bring that, then we can take a victory from the game. Yeah, I think, listen, for me and for the players, for the next 24 hours and the game beyond that, we have to focus on what's in front of us. I think it's very easy to get distracted and pulled away from that, but I think we know that the more success we have on the pitch, the greater things will come for this program. And so our focus, my focus is to make sure we get a win and that we qualify for the Olympics, because that's what's been the foundation of this team. Yeah, and I think that's a big reason. I do believe if you're a good person, then, great things happen to you. And I've got to say, you talk about absolute class. Sophie initially missed out on that 18, got in the 22, put a great performance out against Team GB, but that was Sophie's role in the Olympics. For someone with that level of success and caps, to then, post-Olympics, we had some great conversations. What I would say is Sophie turns up to every training session's got some of the highest standards, and you've seen the level of the goal. She's still got class in her. And I would say she's contributing in many ways on the training pitch with standards and performances. I think around the group, is happy as anyone for young players coming through. And I think that level of experience, you put that experience on a pitch to a game that you need to see out, and she goes and delivers that. So for me, I've got the utmost respect to Sophie. It's a great example for any player who's not starting. When you go and look at someone with, 205 caps, maybe more. For me as a coach, you need those players in your environment to raise standards of training, but also show what it takes to be a great human being. Yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword. I think for players, for coaches, there's a lot on the line. You only have to look at Mexico. They've done well historically. You could say coming into this, they were a key threat, and they, for whatever reason, have struggled, and that's their World Cup and Olympics over. And whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But for me personally, and for this group, it's probably the reach that we want. I think setting that bar high and reaching for it is something that the best players in the world want to do. And so I think to have both on the line is important. I think that sort of safety net, if you don't finish the top of this tournament, to then go and be able to qualify at a later stage is also great. But what you're seeing in this tournament is how the gap is closing. And I think that makes it even more difficult and more things on the line. So there's pros, there's cons, but I think everyone knew what they were coming into, and we're here to make sure that we get to that Olympics. Well, without giving away my sort of scouting plan, I think, it's no hidden that she's good in the air, can turn, can travel with the ball quickly, can link things, but also can run in behind. So I think, us being aware of the threat and ready to deal with it, that's essentially what we need to do. And it's not just, Bunny Shaw. There's players that run off Bunny and feed off her strengths. I think the good news is some of our players know her well, have dealt with her well. But she is a threat, and we have to show that respect, as we always do our opponent.